Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy.
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Tomas covers, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number four, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Saturday. You know what that means. It's time for the View from the WWE Universe. I am joined, of course, as always, on the View from the WWE Universe by CJ. How are you, CJ?
Man, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm fighting a stomach bug, which people who listened to yesterday's Aussie Graps episode should know. If you don't listen to Aussie Graps episode, what are you even doing here? Go back and listen. I had an interview with Jack Bonza. It was one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. But that said, I have a stomach bug, and it's not any fun at all.
Man, is that stomach bug potentially caused by the whole controversy that we have following Crown Jewel right now?
The whole controversy. No, I think that the stomach ache is actually a hangover from all the freaking vegan-friendly food I had to eat in Melbourne because it was the only shit I could find. I think that's what it is. It's a hangover from Melbourne. No, it's just something that's gone around with the kids and stuff from playgroup. But, you know, it is what it is. But I'm blaming Melbourne. I'm taking every opportunity I can to blame Melbourne. How did you cover up over Melbourne, by the way?
I didn't have a voice for about 3-4 days. I was late. I actually missed a day at work. Thanks, Jetstar. And yeah, so that was pretty fun. So I used the day that I was stuck in Melbourne to recover. And I kind of bounced back pretty well. And I got
That's good. Did Jetstar at least put you up in like a hotel or anything because they screwed up your flights? Nope. Or was it you're on your own?
On our own, fend for ourselves.
Wow. Good work, Jetstar.
Fantastic.
Another company that we'll add to our shit list along with Telstra.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, but you touched on it, so I'm going to start with it. Why not?
Let's go.
Crown Jewel. Now, there's been news this week, of course, with the Washington Post reporter who was found in pieces after he was in Turkey, went to the Saudi consulate to get papers to get married. And it looks like allegedly a hit was put out on this journalist by the Saudi royal family because he was very critical of the Saudi government, the current regime, the new regime, where they're like, we're progressive now. And he was like, you're kind of worse than ever. So I was already torn on not just Crown Jewel, but like just the whole Saudi Arabia thing. I was torn back at Greatest Royal Rumble. I don't think we were doing the podcast yet then.
No, we started just after Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so I was torn when they announced this one, and we put a poll up on the Facebook, and the people are torn. It was 51% say yes, you should cover it, 49% say no. Like, you cannot get a more razor thin margin, and yeah, I don't know. Just with this, I mean, WWE have come out with their statement. Did you see what their statement was?
I saw it was like a one-line thing about that they're looking into the situation.
Yeah, we are currently monitoring the situation.
Yeah, see, this is just unbelievable.
Like, okay, so free speech is a core value of mine.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how many people know this, but the B Plus is just the start of what I plan to do here with this podcasting thing. Of course, we have Unchained.media is the parent company, and I do plan on expanding. And one of my shows that I'm working on at the moment is actually a show all about free speech, about big ideas, about, you know, talking about crazy stuff. And when I say crazy stuff, I mean, like, I'll talk to a flat earther. Like, I don't give a fuck, you know, like I just want to hear big ideas. I want people to be completely free to say what they think, to challenge people's preconceived notions of the world and what have you. And to me, I don't know, just to me, I hold in my personal belief system, free speech central and paramount, and especially the ability to criticize a government.
I can understand that.
Like, I don't want to get too political on a wrestling show, you know? Like, we're here for fucking graps. We're not here to
we're here
to
for political graps. That's what we're here for. Political graps.
Political graps. Yeah,
we're wrestling with the political selves about whether to cover Saudi Arabia.
You know, you could almost cover Australian politics like it's a fucking wrestling match with how many prime ministers we have. We've had more prime ministers than the UK has had NXT champions.
Okay, I've just had an idea. We've also had a longer reigning NXT champion than we've had prime ministers.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Let's put it this way. All right, I'm putting this out to all of the politicians. We have officially started a championship scramble for the prime minister's seat. Done.
It's a bit like that, but no, I don't want to get too political, but at the end of the day, I'm super torn, and I don't know, I was at the ledge. I was almost at the point where I was like, I don't even want to cover WWE at all. Because look, let's be honest, the main two shows can be a chore to watch.
Yeah, 9 hours of wrestling, thanks.
Yeah, they can be a chore to watch. I look, the Thursday block with 205 Live, NXT, and Mae Young Classic, that's a pleasure. I enjoy that like nothing else, but it can be hard to watch the main shows, and then they're doing all the Saudi Arabia stuff. And I was at a point where I was like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But everyone's kind of talked me off the ledge. And what we've come to is instead, anytime the Crown Jewel show comes up, I'm just going to say, fuck Saudi Arabia. And that's my opinion. That's
you in a lot of hot water, mister.
Well, it can, but that's all I have to say about the subject. Like, seriously, fuck Saudi Arabia.
All right.
Seriously. I do, in my heart of hearts, I hope that the country is actually trying to get better, despite all the evidence to the contrary. I mean, the propaganda does nothing for me. I don't believe that bullshit at all. And I do hope it gets better for the people there. Because, you know, when I say fuck Saudi Arabia, I'm not saying fuck Saudi Arabians, you know. I'm just saying fuck that regime. Fuck the people that are in charge. Fuck the nation. I mean, I'm not a fan of nation states in general, but fuck that particular nation state more than almost any other. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, and pretty much anytime, you know, when we get to Raw and we start talking about Raw, and we're like, Triple H and Shawn Michaels said they're calling out, and I'll be like, fuck Saudi Arabia. Like, just expect to hear it a lot, because fuck Saudi Arabia.
All right, well then let's hear it for the first time when we hit Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, well, hang on, before we get to Monday Night Raw, you always forget this because you're a sexist. I can only assume you're excited about the show in Saudi Arabia because there will be no women, but you're forgetting about the Mae Young Classic and the Mixed Match Challenge again.
No, they're just not on my radar, so I miss them all the time.
How can the Mae Young Classic not be on your radar when it has some of the best wrestling of the week? Like, you're missing out, bro.
I am missing out, but my plan is to watch the bulk thing right before Evolution, just so I can have that freshness.
Right. Well, when it comes to the Mae Young Classic this week actually wasn't the best episode. Like, it had some solid matches, but it didn't have anything that stood out super, like, this was amazing, especially because NXT did have, and so did 205 Live. And I always watch Mae Young Classic first because I watch them a bit later in the day. So I watch Mae Young Classic first. Nothing stood out as super incredible, but next week looks like it's going to be real good. So this week on Mae Young Classic, we had Io Shirai defeat Zeuxis, Deonna Purrazzo defeat Zia Lee, Tegan Nox defeat Nicole Matthews. The Tegan Nox matches have me scared because I avoided spoilers for the Mae Young Classic as I do. Yep. But I know that Tegan Nox got injured in one of the matches. Yeah. And every time she comes out for a match, I'm like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, am I going to see something gruesome here? and it kind of adds and takes away because I don't get to enjoy the match because I'm terrified constantly.
Okay. Touching on that subject real quick, I've actually seen footage of said injury. Watch the match with excitement because it is just a basic normal match. You don't tell that she's injured until, you know, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then we got Mia Yim defeating Caitlyn. And so this is the only talking point I have from the Mae Young Classic this week. Talk about a comeback. Like, Caitlyn, you got to put her up there with comeback of the year with like PCO and stuff on the indies because Caitlyn is killed it. Like, so she's eliminated now.
Yeah.
She only had 2 matches in this Mae Young Classic, but both of them were better matches than I remember ever seeing Caitlyn have in her career.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to watch her matches because I was actually a fan of her when she was having her feud with AJ Lee for the Divas Championship, RIP Championship. I don't know. I was a big fan of hers back then. And I reckon now that she has improved, I'm probably a big fan of it now too.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of, like, I love her look. I love her whole, like, but everything about her seems more intense now than it used to be.
Nice.
Like she has something to prove. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And Mia Yim put on a great show as well and ended up overcoming Caitlyn. And it was just, the crowd were chanting, "Thank you, Caitlyn." And it was just a really, really good match, a really good moment. So now we're down to the final 8. We got Meiko Satomura versus Lacey Lane, Toni Storm versus Mia Yim, Tegan Nox versus Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai versus Deonna Purrazzo. So those are all going to be fantastic matches.
Yeah.
But that does it for the Mae Young Classic. Before we move on to Raw and SmackDown, we will also touch on the Mixed Match Challenge, which I watch, but you don't. Mixed Match Challenge this week was fun. Monster Eclipse got a win over B&B, that's Bayley and Balor. Kevin Owens was injured on Monday Night Raw, which we will talk about shortly.
Who was his replacement?
Natty doesn't know. She doesn't know who's going to replace him on Team Pause. So we'll find out next week when she has a match with her mystery partner. So we don't know who it's going to be. And then Phenomenal Flair defeated Fabulous Truth. This match, again, had like a 4-minute dance break. It's fun. They all do this. So they have the dance break, and R-Truth does the splits. And then Carmella does the splits. And then Charlotte does the splits. And then AJ Styles pulls his hamstring.
I saw that bit. I actually saw that bit. That was funny.
Fun. It's fun. It's very fun. I love the Mixed Match Challenge just because every wrestling show that you watch live, you expect it to have that fun match to provide that little break. Yeah. Right? And it's something WWE don't do enough on their main show. And this, like the Santino Marella,
Yeah, I miss the comedy that Santino used to bring. And I think that's what R-Truth has started to do now.
Yeah. Well, that's why R-Truth gets over so well. Like, because you need that in a wrestling show. You need it. It's not optional. It's a necessity. Yeah. You need to have that kind of, like, when I went and watched the MCW show the night before WWE Super Showdown, it was a night of really, really good wrestling. But they did one spot in the middle of one of the matches. There was a triple threat match, and one guy just took a dive. He's the hooligan. He's the soccer hooligan. Yeah. And he took a dive as if he was a soccer player and pretended he was injured.
Oh, wow.
And the ref gave the guy a yellow card. And then the other guy came in from outside the ring. JXT comes in from outside the ring, and he takes a dive as well. So then the ref sends the third competitor out with a red card. Like, it was just stupid fun. You need that shit in wrestling. Yeah, you do. You need And so, Mixed Match Challenge provides that in my WWE week, which I really enjoy. Next week, we get Asuka versus Ravishing Rusev Day and Team Pause, Natty and Mystery Partner against Country Dominance, which is good. Country Dominance are now both heels. It's Mickie James and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley turned heel, and that brings us to Monday Night Raw. Take it away, CJ.
Well, with Monday Night Raw, we opened with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Both stewing and absolutely furious about what actually happened to them at Super Showdown, where Undertaker and Kane demolished them at the end of the show.
Which we were there for, and I just want to say how crazy it is to hear them reference something on TV that we were actually witnessing live. I think that's flying under so many people's radar, because normally it's just a house show and nothing matters. But we were there. We saw that thing that they're referencing that's going to be in video packages.
No, it's exactly actually kind of it's thrilling.
More exciting now. Yeah.
See, I wasn't actually I wasn't excited for the build. For what happened at what's going to happen at Crown Jewel.
Fuck Saudi Arabia.
We were actually getting D-Generation X versus Brothers of Destruction. I did call this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you remember.
Everyone called it. We all knew it was happening.
I know, but it counts for me because I said it on the podcast, so it counts more for me.
Fair
but
enough.
Both Triple H and Shawn Michaels have, quote-unquote, lost respect for Undertaker. So Shawn Michaels is finally coming out of retirement. Mate, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, I mean, if you think over the last... I mean, how long has it been that everyone's like, one more match, One more match. Least, every time he comes out to the ring, one more match. Yeah, and so when everyone chanted one more match, you want that match to be against AJ Styles, Yeah.
Or
Daniel Bryan.
Or Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano, or any of those guys, you don't necessarily want this. The only person alive who wants this is the fucking Saudi prince. Fuck him.
No, 100% agree with you. I love the idea Sean's coming out of retirement for a couple of matches, hopefully.
I'm just afraid he's going to die. We saw him.
Yeah, he was very frail.
I don't know. I don't know. If he was going to come out of retirement, he should have done it 5 years ago. And it's clearly it's just for the money. And I don't begrudge him that. I don't begrudge him the whole doing it for the money. But ethically, I mean, fuck Saudi Arabia, right? So why the fuck are you... It's just, I don't know. Yeah, not a fan. Not a huge fan. Can
understand that. After that segment from that announcement, we also get Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens.
How good was Lio Rush just on the mic the entire way through the match?
That was actually kind of annoying.
No, I loved it.
Hear me out.
It was annoying in a good way.
It was annoying in a good way. But the only thing that annoys me the most about Lio Rush is that stupid little giggle he does where he's like, I'm the 23-year-old piss god. And this is the man, Bobby Lashley. And he's back to dominate. I was like, mate, shut the fuck up.
Okay, well,
that little giggle just annoys me.
He's doing his job, man. He's doing his job. See, I love him. I love him because I love him as a performer. But it's the slight thing where he was a face 2 weeks ago and now he's a heel, and he's managed to switch on that little thing.
Mind you, are they truly a heel? Because reports have come out saying that Kevin Owens is actually injured now. So could this have just been a way to get Kevin Owens off TV and have Lashley just look dominant at this piece? Or are they going to keep him heel?
No, he's heel. He's definitely heel. What it was a matter of Kevin Owens is going to be gone for 4 to 8 months, they're saying.
Yep.
And so the decision was made that day to turn Bobby Lashley because they're losing one of their major heels and they need someone to fill that void.
No, well, Lashley's the perfect guy to do it. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, absolutely. He was useless as a face.
Yeah.
He was more entertaining as a face with Lio Rush, but he was still going to be useless. And he was still getting nothing from the crowd. But as a heel, it's like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, we can boo him now? Okay, let's boo him.
You know what?
Yeah, we'll do that.
You know what? He was decent as a face when he was on his own back in ECW.
No.
I liked that.
I always thought he was boring. I told you that when Lio Rush was partnered with him was the first time ever that I found him interesting. I didn't see his TNA run where he was supposedly quite a good heel, so I haven't seen that.
I would recommend going back and watching a couple of things on YouTube.
From the TNA run?
Yeah. I'd recommend doing it because it was good.
Yeah, but the Lio Rush pairing is the first time I've found him entertaining in the least. And yeah, having him turn heel with Lio Rush, I think it's amazing. Lio Rush is kind of like, it reminds me, the whole, having the microphone throughout the entire match reminds me of Jimmy Hart with the megaphone.
Yes.
Just yelling into the crowd, just hyping it up.
Yeah,
and the hype man thing is fantastic. Also, you know he's a bad guy because he's wearing a suit with no shirt.
I love that.
So he's got to be a heel.
I love Renee's like, can someone get that man a shirt?
Renee Young, by the way, this flies under the radar because she's just become a part of the show now. We talked about it the first time she did commentary. How good is Renee Young on commentary?
She's so good.
The show's so much easier to listen to now.
It is. She also has a streak of her own, mind you.
Hmm?
If you go back and watch it from when she started, every week and every pay-per-view since she's been doing this, there's been either a return or a return or a turn.
Really?
Really?
Say really?
Really. Go back and watch it. It's every week.
Every week since she started?
Yeah. So last week it was Kurt Angle, which we'll touch on that. This week it was Kurt Angle. Week before that, it was Undertaker and Kane as the Brothers of Destruction. Week before that, it was Shawn Michaels.
Her first week, it was Dean Ambrose.
That's
crazy. So you're talking just in the week. That's crazy. That's really funny. I wonder when it'll break. It'll have to break soon, surely.
It won't break because you know who's coming up soon? John Cena, as he was announced as the first free entrance into the World Cup at Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So he's just in there. He doesn't have to qualify. Everyone else has to have qualifying matches.
But this is the thing, though. Are they going to build him to be this unstoppable person? He wins, officially becomes the best in the world, and then retires?
No, he's not retiring. You think that speech was a precursor to a retirement?
Not so much a precursor, but he's said himself that his time is about to come.
Maybe, Maybe he's doing the whole acting thing. Maybe he has some kind. Maybe that's why he didn't take a bump.
Or-
Maybe it's not actually because of the movie. Maybe he has some kind of injury and needs to retire.
Potentially. Or could it be that he does the World Cup, the winner of the World Cup gets a future WWE Championship opportunity, right? And that future championship opportunity is after WrestleMania, where he wins it and then loses it back to the person he won it from, where he holds it for like a month, beating Ric Flair's record, and then goes. Because all of a sudden...
Oh, please no.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's another way that I can see it happening. But,
do you really want John Cena to beat Ric Flair's record?
Well, actually, technically, no one can beat Ric Flair's record. No one. He's held over 40 world championships, including NWA. So, no, it'll never happen. In my eyes, it'll never happen. But for a WWE championship, I think he is the person to do it. If anyone, him.
Yeah, we'll have to agree to disagree, I guess. I want to see him stop where he is. I don't necessarily want to see the dude retire. I'd like to see him come back, but he definitely should be filling that part-time role, which he does now. And I'm not one of those people who's against part-timers. I'm against how they use the part-timers sometimes. Having Batista come back and win the Royal Rumble when it was clearly Daniel Bryan's year, stuff like that. Like, that's stupid. And I'll rail against the part-timers there, but the idea of part-timers in general, I mean, Triple H is a perfect part-timer.
Yep, Triple H is really good at being a part-timer.
He comes in, he hypes up a big match, he loses, he goes away.
Yep.
Then randomly he'll get one win, just to, remind us that he's still the fucking game, and then he comes back and loses again the next year.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and Triple H is really, really good as a part-timer, and that's part of the reason why I think his legacy will outlive almost anyone's. But
no, I think you're right.
But yeah, I want John Cena to start filling that role.
Yeah,
I do.
John Cena will slowly start to fill it to the point where I think they'll build him to be like Brock almost, where he comes in for 4 matches a year and is unbeatable.
Yeah, maybe I could see him doing that.
Yeah. And then all I've got here was Elias segment, and that's all I've got.
Well, Elias comes out and trash talks Australia. He trash talks Chicago, all in song format, of course. He's singing about how bad it was, something about our accents, and how when he heard our accents, he just wanted to leave. He didn't want to do the show. Which, fair game.
I can understand it.
Yeah, I get it. Fucking,
even I can't understand our accent half the time.
No wuckers. It's too easy, mate. Too easy. I get it.
Yeah.
but no, so he trash talks us, then trash talks Chicago, then he rips on John Cena's hair, which was nice that he said that John Cena's hair distracted him. And then his concert gets interrupted by Ronda Rousey, of all people, and then he just disappears, I guess.
I don't understand that. Just bye-bye.
It's almost like he's just at this point where he's like, look, I'm happy for any time I get.
Pretty much.
he just leaves. It was weird. And then Ronda Rousey comes out and they do the 6-woman tag rematch, which pissed me off.
Yeah, that actually frustrated me. As well as something on SmackDown, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, this whole segment between Ronda and the Bellas and then Riot Squad, I mean, I was so frustrated with this. I was actually really pissed off. I will admit, Liv Morgan and Brie Bella starting this match was good. I loved that idea.
Cool. That was cool.
And that right hook from Liv Morgan, smashing Brie right in the chin. That looked good.
Why didn't they do this exact thing, this exact match in Melbourne? Why?
Because it had to make them look strong.
But doing this, what they did was they didn't make anyone look strong. What they did, I mean, the double tap out was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's put that on Front Street. The double armbar was fantastic, but you could have had the double armbar and then had Nikki kick her in the face.
So that would have been cooler, costing the match.
Yeah, cost the match by, kick her in the face and they roll her up into a double roll up off the armbar or something like that. I think that the turn should have happened in Melbourne. And I talked about my section being quiet.
Yes.
There was a good amount of people in my section after that match just yelling, turn! like we were all waiting for it. And then it fades to black and they go to the next match and everyone was like kind of deflated. Like, we thought we were going to get the turn. And then they do it on fucking Raw and all it did was it made the Riot Squad lose twice.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it. But yes, we got the Brie Bella. She turned heel weeks ago. We got the Bella heel turn.
Like, if they did it in Melbourne, it would have been a fantastic moment. Not just for us, but it was timed better.
Yeah, it would have been so much more perfect.
Yeah, doing it on Raw was stupid.
Yeah. And then after the Bella heel turn, we got Team BB versus Team Mahalisha.
A rematch from last week's Mixed Match Challenge.
Which apparently was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be, with Balor and Bayley picking up the win.
Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, these matches are good. They know what they're doing. There's Mixed Match Challenge. You got to watch it.
No, I definitely do.
But Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley interfered.
The interview, yes.
Yeah, when they did their promo before the match. Was it before the match or was it after the match?
I think it was before the match.
Yeah, it was before the match. It was earlier. Yeah, Leo Rush and Lashley interfere and take all the attention and saying that, Leo says that with what did he say? He was like, with my words and my man's power, we are too sweet. And I was like, oh
yes.
Oh, shots fired. I hope we get Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor now, because a heel Bobby Lashley against Finn Balor, that's a match I want to see.
Yeah, that's the Beast versus that's David versus Goliath match right there.
Yeah, or you could call it the Beast versus the Best. Let's call fuck it. Why not? Chuck Lesnar. That's his name,
Beast
right?
The Best. Yep, done.
Don't call me racist because I called him Chuck Lesnar. I saw it online once and I chuckled. All right.
But moving on from that fantastic Too Sweet promo, we have the Baron Corbin Global Battle Royale.
Oh, right.
Where he picked the most amazing star-studded competitors ever, where he pulled people from all over the world.
All the racist tropes. Speaking of racism, all the racist tropes.
It was so bad.
This was bad. It was like I was transported back to 1989. Like, what was happening with this?
The doctor from Antarctica, that was fantastic.
I don't know. I don't know what this was.
But can we just talk about the Conquistador for a second?
The Conquistador is like a legendary character.
Yeah, like, but he performed absolutely amazing. Like, he was performing so many slams and getting suplex after suplex.
Suplex after suplex. Yeah, I thought it was Brock Lesnar for a second.
Yeah, so did I. Look at the size. But no, ladies and gentlemen, it turned out to be none other than Kurt Angle.
Who's been on holiday, of course. He's been on vacation.
He's technically still on vacation.
So he eliminated Baron Corbin and got the win. I love that he was sitting out for the first part of the match. That was fun.
He was just kind of sitting there. He's like, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
So
the Los Conquistadors, though, my memory of them is with Edge and Christian, when Edge and Christian were banned from having title shots or whatever. So then they dressed up as the Los Conquistadors and became the champions and then they did the 5-second pose and revealed it was them, and it was like this huge thing, and everyone loved it. And so I was like, maybe it's Edge. Maybe it's of course it's not Edge. Kurt Angle. But Kurt Angle actually has a link there to Edge and Christian, so it made me happy. I enjoyed it.
Definitely.
I feel like he was on vacation and he's on the phone to Edge and Christian, and they're cheering him up, playing their kazoos. And they were like, why don't you just pull out one of our old Conquistador costumes? Because it was a little bit tight.
Just a little bit. Oh, God.
It's a little bit tight. So I feel like he's wearing Christian's old Conquistador costume. That's the headcanon. Yep. That's for me. That's what happened, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You heard it here first, folks. Kurt Angle wears Christian's clothing.
Yes.
So after the Kurt Angle return, we have Ember Moon versus Nia Jax. Somewhat decent match.
Yeah, Ember Moon doesn't have bad matches.
No, she doesn't, which is pretty good. And again, Moon won via countout. So I couldn't understand that as such. Why would they make it a countout? Was it to save both people?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say it was just to save them. Like,
I guess. I don't know, man. It's weird.
But after that, they had a nice embracement, sign of affection, and then I guess that was that. It was just a boring match.
It was weird. It was weird to me. I'm like, okay, what? Like the whole everyone's friends thing. I don't get it.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it.
I was waiting for a Nia turn. Almost.
So was I. Oh no, Ember Moon turn on a Nia Jax. That would have been cool.
No, Ember Moon's great though. Ember Moon's great how she is, and the crowd like to cheer her. She's almost got a Becky Lynch vibe, except a little less on the promo charisma side. but just in terms of she doesn't put on bad matches, and people want to cheer someone who's a good wrestler. You know,
good point.
Yeah,
good point. But following the women's superstar match, we also saw more friends join in the ring when Trish Stratus returns to Monday Night Raw. Again, another Renee Young return.
Yes.
So
okay, we're getting more Attitude Era stuff for this time for Evolution. So it's kind of like a lot of people were worried, especially in the build up to Super Showdown. The Evolution stuff took a backseat. I talked about it. I was like, it's the show they forgot. Like WWE just forgot this show existed because they were already hyping the Crown Jewel, fuck Saudi Arabia, and they were hyping Super Showdown, and Evolution took a backseat. Now they're hyping the Crown Jewel, fuck Saudi Arabia, and the Evolution show. So they've kind of remembered it exists, but they're giving it the same Attitude Era treatment, which is weird to me.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I don't know why they're giving all of a sudden they're doing this attitude where it's on the back foot. I don't understand it.
Maybe the Saudi prince is secretly financing this as well, and he's like, I want to see Trish Stratus and Lita. That's my Saudi accent. I don't know.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. I really wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, he probably grew up watching those girls. Like, I don't know. But
man, I don't know. I mean, royal family, I guess the regular rules wouldn't have applied to him, would they?
No.
Fuck Saudi Arabia, man. Anyway, they're doing the Attitude Era thing, but at least they're getting it out of the way in one match.
They are. But I like, I do really like the segment. Just for the fact that where Trish Stratus turns around and goes that the goddess was not around in the Attitude Era simply because no one would have remembered her.
Yeah, I disagree.
So do I.
I disagree.
So do I. But my reason is probably a little bit sexist. Because, like, back in the Attitude Era, they had certain matches. Wouldn't mind seeing Alexa Bliss in some of them.
Right. Well, not just that. Yeah, Alexa Bliss has all the tools to have succeeded in either era.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, man.
It's
She's good on the mount.
The way you want to say that.
Yeah, that's a lot. But let's rephrase this completely. I reckon
I'm leaving it in, brother.
Oh,
I'm leaving it in.
All right.
You want to see Alexa Bliss in her bras and panties?
Oh, actually, no. Actually, no. Funny enough, it's not that. Funnily enough, it's not that. Ignore that.
It's not the bras and panties.
It's not.
Match? What match then?
To be honest, she would thrive in the Attitude Era style matches that Lita was having. That's where I'm more putting it. She would be the perfect manager in a hardcore match. I can see her taking those bumps.
Yeah,
but that's honestly where I could see it. She would thrive because she'd be able to swear down the microphone,
right?
Distract the people.
There's jokes here to be had that King would go crazy with talking about hardcore bumps and all this stuff when you're talking about Alexa Bliss. But
yeah,
let's not go there.
Let's not.
And let's just say this segment was really good. Except it's a little odd that they're falling back on the Attitude Era stuff, right?
But
like, it's weird. It's weird.
It is.
Like, why?
It's very weird. I can't understand it. But outside of the whole Attitude Era stuff as well, inside it, outside it, technically, the card for Evolution has officially changed.
Yeah, so they made it a tag match. So now we're getting, which, like I said, at least now you've got the Legends sort of thing all confined to the one match.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So you got Lita and Trish versus Mickey and Bliss, which I like that. I like that tag match.
I really like it too. But my personal opinion with this match, I don't know it's never going to happen, but can we remove Alexa Bliss from this match and put Gail Kim in there?
Why?
Because Gail Kim was around wrestling when Mickey sort of started to leave. As these women arrived, that the other one was leaving. Well, maybe not. Right. Maybe not so much Gail Kim. Maybe someone else.
No, so here's the thing. This is Evolution.
Yeah.
If this show does not focus on putting over the new women at all costs, then fuck it as hard as Saudi Arabia.
All right. Yeah. Good point.
For real.
Good point.
So Alexa Bliss needs to be in this match because they need someone who is a now wrestler to pick up the win. I fully expect to see Alexa Bliss get the pinfall over Lita or Trish.
All right. Very good point. Good point.
Because it needs to be the antithesis of the Crown Jewel. The Crown Jewel is where you'll see John Cena win a fucking thing. You'll see the Brothers of Destruction overcome the evil degenerates, and it'll be stupid, bullshit from the past. It's a nostalgia show so that some rich oil baron can
Yeah.
get his fucking rocks off. And the evolution needs to be the antithesis of that, and it needs to show how far women's wrestling has come. It needs to show that these are today's pure athletes. And yeah, Alexa Bliss needs to be there to pick up that win.
Yeah, good point. After the legend segment, we had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Ascension in a rival that no one wants to see right now.
Yeah. So we saw this again.
I
don't even remember who won.
Technically, Roode and Gable got the win as AOP hit the ring and destroyed everyone.
Right. Yeah, the Authors of Pain, another team that no one cares about
Because reasons. Taking your response.
Yeah. Well, hang on. They attacked the B team last week, right? And we were like, what the fuck? Like they just we had the B team win a match against the Revival of all fucking people. We had the B team win a match against the Revival just so they could get attacked by AOP and presumably lose next week.
Yep.
No, they're not even there to lose to the AOP. The AOP are just going to attack someone else now.
That's a good point.
Which, by the way, we'll get there when we talk about 205 Live, because Drake Maverick, he's upsetting me.
Yeah?
Daddy Maverick, yeah.
Ooh.
He tweeted out about this one. He tweeted out, they're sick of waiting. That's why they're attacking, because they're sick of waiting. They're sick of waiting for people to notice them. They're sick of waiting for their shot. They're just going to take it, right? So leave that in your mind, dear listener, as we move on until we get to 205 Live, and I'll come back to it.
Okay. After that tag team match, we have an unadvertised appearance by the one and only Paul Heyman.
Yeah, cuts a promo about how selfish Brock Lesnar is.
Yep. That's pretty much the entire segment. But we got to see Paul Heyman again, so that was pretty cool. And he plugged Crowd Jewel.
Well, he did say something that I liked, that Brock Lesnar's going to win at Fuck Saudi Arabia because he doesn't have a group of weak links holding him back.
He just has the one really big weak link, which is Paul Heyman.
What? Paul Heyman is not a weak link.
No, he's not, but I think it's time for Paul to move on and create a faction. I like the rumors.
The Dangerous Alliance, right.
Really
and I think that that's what he's hinting at with this group of weak links. I think that, there's it's like a little seed.
What if? Okay, I'm just playing the ballpark here, right? During the match, the Dogs of War, Dolph and Drew, come down to help Braun a little bit. Then the rest of the Shield steps in. So all of a sudden, everyone's just beating up everyone, and Brock just kind of looks to the back as he realizes what's going on. He kind of looks to the back, looks at Paul, and says, I think it's time. And all of a sudden, we have Undisputed Era hit the ring.
Okay. At Saudi Arabia, at the Crown Jewel.
Yeah. I don't know what.
No.
Imagine.
I think it's more likely that you're going to see a Dangerous Alliance between
Authors of Pain?
Dean Ambrose. No.
Dean
Ambrose, Drew McIntyre, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yep, understandable.
As a new Dangerous Alliance, where they're singles guys. They're not a faction. They're singles guys. They're all managed by Paul Heyman.
Similar to...
Because he talked about them being a group of weak links, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to take the strong links and the ones that are being... Yeah, I think that's where I think it's going.
That would be pretty cool, and just split both teams up at the same time. That would be pretty cool.
And then have them fuck Brock Lesnar off too. Have just Paul Heyman with Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose managing both of them as single superstars.
Similar to how he did Curtis Axel and Ryback, and Zeb Coulter did Swagger and Cesaro, didn't he?
Yeah, but they were tag teams. I don't want McIntyre and Ambrose to become a tag team.
No, they're just brutal on their own.
Just be single superstars that are both managed by... And yeah, maybe throw someone else in there. Maybe bring up a tag team or something as well. But yeah. Maybe the Revival. The Revival would be great, Paul Heyman, guys.
It would be. But speaking of the Shield and Dolph and that, we saw another rematch yet nobody ever wanted to fucking see. But turned out to be a really, really good match.
The Shield vs. Dogs of War, yeah. It was good. It was a good match, again, yeah. Ambrose walks away from the Shield to close the show, which was nice. I liked that.
Which is really good. I think building up that frustration stuff, it's going to show more and more each week leading into Saudi Arabia.
Fuck Saudi Arabia.
But it's going to be something that's definitely going to be... People are going to want to keep an eye on it.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, Greg, curious question for you, man. Have you been shopping recently?
I have not.
Mate, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're not a big fan of crowds, as most of us here at the B Plus aren't. Have you heard of Threadbox?
I have heard of Threadbox.
But then you would know how good they actually are. I mean, I just received my first crate, and holy moly, I'm amazed. Guys, if you're listening, go check out threadbox.com.au, and they have everything from hats to socks to shirts to pants. It's fantastic. With email to a personalized stylist and customizable crates, it's honestly one of the best things I've had. I don't know about you, Greg, but I really enjoy it.
I got a crate the other day, and they gave me new jeans, a couple of new shirts, and the cool thing is, one of the shirts I tried it on, and it was a little bit long for me, and I thought this accentuates how short I am in person, and so I sent them an email, and I was just like, hey. This shirt, I feel like it makes me look really short because I'm kind of short. And they were like, send it back. We'll give you something else next month, like an extra thing. So I'm going to send that shirt back. And then next month, they're going to send me out something else. And I said to them, I've got lots of shirts. And they were like, well, we'll send you some accessories. And that's how Threadbox do it. It's kind of fantastic.
See, how good's that? And with our special code, the B Plus 15 at checkout, actually saves all our fans 15% on their first box. How cool is that?
Yeah, so head to threadbox.com.au today and use the code the B Plus 15 to get your first box as soon as you can. Let's move on to SmackDown. Yep. SmackDown was actually probably not the better show this week.
Not,
I don't know.
Definitely not.
I think Raw was better this week, which is unusual.
You know what? One thing would have made SmackDown beat Raw for me. You know what that was? My fucking Becky Lynch entrance. I love her entrance, and they pulled it. I don't give a damn about Charlotte's, but where's Becky's?
That opening match, though. So the show opened with Becky versus Charlotte. Another rematch.
Which, this is the match that we needed at Australia.
Yes. So again, put these matches on pay-per-view. I know why they don't, because the network only costs $10 and they get a lot of money from their TV deals.
Yeah.
So now it's all flipped and they use the network specials to hype up the TV stuff, which is backwards and weird. If you're going to do that, give us an actual live SmackDown then. But anyway.
Oh, how cool would that be?
This match was absolutely incredible. And the fact that it was a no DQ, like the title will change hands on a DQ, but not a count out. It added such a layer. Becky deciding to try to get the count out and everything. They ended up with a double count out, right?
Yeah.
And then they kept fighting.
Yeah.
And Charlotte spears her through the fucking screen. Holy shit. This match was incredible.
I really also liked the fact that they didn't just rebuild the screen. That was broken the entire night.
Yeah. Yeah. It was such a... Like, this could have main evented any show this week, but they put it in the opener. And then the rest of the show was a disappointment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the main event, we'll get to the main event, but like, what the fuck? Anyway, Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy were next, though, with the World Cup qualifier, and then it just starts to go downhill from there. I mean, love Samoa Joe, but Jeff wins because Joe can't stand the damage to his leg anymore, and can't stand, literally.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is a legitimate thing where he's actually injured, or if they just want to wipe him off TV for a little bit to try and, like, make people remember, oh, this guy's a badass heel when he returns.
Well, I don't know. Joe's a beast. Joe's an absolute beast, and he doesn't need to be written off to remind people that he's a beast, because he can be a beast at any time. Yeah. It's just weird.
Well, maybe...
It's, you know what it is? It's the fucking Saudi prince wants Jeff Hardy in his fucking tournament. That's what it is. Right? Like, what else could it be?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
Fuck Saudi Arabia, man.
Straight after that match where Joe literally cannot stand with two legs, we have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair announced once again at Evolution for the very first last woman standing.
If this match does not main event the Evolution pay-per-view, WWE done fucked up. I know that they consider Ronda Rousey the star. I know that Nikki Bella is the star because of the Total Divas thing. But those two need to have their match in the middle of the show.
They do.
This match needs to main event Evolution, because this match is everything that Evolution's about.
Yeah, this match is literally the culmination of the Evolution. If you think about it, it started with two of these girls. Out of the NXT 4 Horsewomen, it needs to end with these two.
Yeah, well, not only that, but as well, if you look at it, this match exemplifies not only can the women wrestle just as well as the men, it's not enough in WWE to wrestle just as well as the men. You need to promo just as well as the men.
Yeah.
You need to tell a story just as well as the men. And these two, they do it better. And so, yeah, so it exemplifies everything that WWE Evolution should stand for. And so if it's not the main event, like they've really fucked up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then we get Miz TV.
Holy
So
crap.
slight uptick in the show here for Miz TV.
Oh, just this entire segment. I felt so bad for the Miz at the end of this. I actually did.
I loved it because it made it very clear that WWE always planned to have a super short match at Super Showdown, which bummy for us. But like I said on the Super Showdown, Super Duper Spectacular, it was better on TV than it was live. Like, it sucked for us live, but when I watched it on TV, I was like, that makes perfect sense. And then to have them hit, like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan both just picking on Miz, calling him the 2-minute man and all that sort of stuff, it was lots of fun.
It was good.
They're trying to embarrass the Miz.
Yeah.
And the Miz will get the last laugh, I think.
I actually really hope so.
I do. I think he will.
I hope so. But the question is, though, right, is they're trying to build AJ to be the greatest WWE champion. Are we going to see Bryan lose at Saudi Arabia?
It does look that way. Yeah.
Or are we going to see the Miz interfere, causing the disqualification, having them have the triple threat match at, say, what's up?
Survivor Series?
No, it wouldn't be Survivor Series. I don't think there'll be a WWE Championship match there. That will be Universal Champion versus WWE Champion.
So TLC?
TLC, I reckon there'll be a triple threat match where we get the return of Samoa Joe, where he just comes in, demolishes everyone to the point where they actually can't continue the match. Hence, the Fatal 4-Way at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I don't know if I like a Fatal 4-Way at Royal Rumble.
Armageddon was announced.
Armageddon. Yeah. The Fatal 4-Way would suit Armageddon.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Put him in a cell.
Yes.
So no one else can interfere. There's been too many interferences in these WWE title matches. And then let's do away with Hell in a Cell and just be like, Hell in a Cells can happen anytime now.
Yeah, I like that idea more.
That's what I want. All right. Book it. Book it, Vinny. He lets me call him Vinny. We're tight. So moving on from Miz TV, which was lots of fun. AJ Styles has a match with Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
I mean, what's going on here? Like, Shelton Benjamin had an amazing showing against Daniel Bryan and then just,
got buried. I'm so happy he just flat out got buried.
See you, Shelton.
Yep.
It's so weird.
After Shelton's unfortunate burial, we have Lana revealing the full story of the one night in Milwaukee.
Oh, man. Oh, I forgot about this.
So did I.
This was terrible.
Yeah, this was honestly the worst ending it could have possibly happened.
Like, I don't think you know how hacking works, first off.
I hacked Rusev.
She hacked his phone, apparently, and that's how she got the footage. But the footage was the same footage that the truck was already playing. Why didn't you just say, we spoke to the people in the truck? Why did you have to say you hacked his phone?
I couldn't understand.
It's so weird and stupid. Like, if she said we hacked your phone, and then she pulled out her phone to play the video, like, I don't know. It just made no sense whatsoever. But essentially what it came down to was absolutely nothing. There was nothing.
It was literally nothing. It was just to try and build a feud, and it didn't work. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's just Aiden just trying to make himself famous. But he did have the line of the week when he was like, "Look, when you're sick of your Rusev days, why don't you come and have an Aiden night?" or whatever he said, and it pissed off Rusev, and I was like, "That's a good one. That was nice." Good. Yeah, but yeah, it was absolutely terrible. I said it would be terrible, and I called it. Right. It was terrible.
You were right.
And then we get Big Show versus Randy Orton for a World Cup qualifier. Orton qualifies after an eye poke and an RKO, and the show was over.
Was that the first...
I didn't even realize this was the main event.
Neither did I. But was that the first RKO he's hit since his return?
Maybe. Yeah, because he's teased him but never done it.
Yeah, I think it's his first one.
Yeah. You know why?
Because you can't punt Big Show?
No, because the Saudi prince wants to see the RKO.
Yeah, true.
And we're building the crown jewel now. So
yep, good point. Good point.
God damn. No, but there's like, hey, Randy, remember that stuff we were doing? How you're a bad guy now, and so you people pop the RKO, so you won't do it. Yeah, true. Yeah, we're doing that tonight in the match with Big Show. No, the complete opposite. Saudi Prince wants to see. Oh, Saudi Prince, yeah, absolutely. Fuck Saudi Arabia, man. Seriously.
But yeah, so we have Orton advancing into the final, which actually makes sense due to the fact that he has been on a roll. Got to admit, he's been on a sling of victories over Hardy and Dillinger, so it's decent.
Yeah, well, I mean, having Big Show, show up just to lose. I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with that, you know?
To be honest, I'm not going to lie. I completely forgot he was still under contract until they were like, hey, I'm a Connor the Cure person. I was like, oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, whatever happened to that stable? He had a whole stable of kids he was going to lead to victory over cancer. And he just abandoned them. He abandoned them to jump ships to SmackDown. And now these kids are without a leader over on Raw.
Oh.
But no. How are they going to beat cancer without Big Show? I don't know.
You're still going to hell. All right.
I know. Let's talk about 205 Live, though. 205 Live this week was lots of fun.
This was so good.
The recap, obviously, of Buddy's big moment. Leo Rush comes out, says he's here to make someone famous with his open challenge.
Yep.
And this is the thing with Leo Rush. We talk about all the time. He always has a new catchphrase.
Yes, he does.
Like you talk about Mike Quackenbush is the man of 10,000 holds, right? Leo Rush is the man of 10,000 catchphrases.
Yes.
You better come correct because the man of the hour came to collect. Like,
I like how he's using that came to collect now, or come to collect, or whatever whenever he uses it. I just love it.
I love everything this guy does. Like, this guy he looks like money. He smells like money because he is money. Like, I can rattle off his catchphrases like it's fucking nothing, man. Like, it's so good. Lindsay Dorado answers the call, though, and they have a pretty good match.
It was decent.
And ultimately it looks like Dorado's going to win. And I'm like, what's happening here? Like, it looks like the way the match was paced.
Yeah.
This is clearly the end of the match. But Maria and Mike Kanellis interfere, causing the DQ.
How good is this?
So I got a few things to talk about here.
Go for it.
So, okay. First thing is Daddy Maverick was upset on Twitter about them doing this.
Okay.
Daddy Maverick, they just were sick of waiting, my friend.
Good point.
They're just sick of waiting. How can you lead your team to do this exact thing on Raw, but be upset when someone else does it on your show on Wednesday night?
Good point.
You can't be. You're a fucking hypocrite. And I know, like, okay, so unless they're turning Daddy Maverick, you know, the GM, unless they're turning the GM heel, it's bad. It's bad, you guys.
But
but the other point, was a big part of me is worried that Vince saw the reaction and saw everyone at Super Showdown and was like, oh, if they want a ginger with weird hair and a goatee, I'll give him Mike Kanellis. You'll be the champion. That's my worry.
Okay. I can see your worry there, but I don't know. I just think that Mike Kanellis will bring such a big opportunity to this. I think being in 205 rather than Raw is going to help him a lot better.
Yeah, I think he's done the exact same thing that Buddy did. I think he's gone to Triple H and gone, look, just let me go down. Let me go down.
I think so too.
Yeah, because that was Buddy, right? Buddy was lost in the shuffle in NXT. He was doing the house shows in Florida. Yeah, and he was just like, I'm going to cut. They said Triple H said no to him at first, and then he went and cut the weight anyway, and was like, look, I'm weighing in, like for shoot, like I'm actually 205 now. Just please put me on the show. And Triple H did the whole, all right, I'll give you a shot. We'll see how you go.
And he killed it.
He became, and I think Mike Kanellis has gone. You know, because clearly he's copied Buddy in terms of the hair and everything. So he's copying Buddy's career trajectory as well. Maybe he's going to become Buddy Murphy's #1 fan. It's the gimmick that Brooksy did here in Australia. But no, I think it's fun, and I'm happy. The more people do this and go, look, I want to be where the action is, then the better it is for us as fans because we're going to get more great matches.
Exactly right.
I'm excited.
Can we just also appreciate how good Maria Kanellis looks after just having a baby? Like, she's done so well.
Yeah. So you're not doing much to dispel my whole "you're a sexist" thing, bro. This is the second time you've brought up a woman's appearance.
No, it's not a bad thing for... I didn't bring up Alexa's appearance. Shut up, Greg.
I'm just messing with you, man. No, actually, Maria Kanellis is a beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah.
And also, I just want to touch on this though. The commentators this week announced that Leo Rush has not lost on 205 since his debut. However, with Lindsay Dorado winning via disqualification, he just got handed his loss.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count,
it's
man.
in the books. It's in the books. He lost. Doesn't matter. He's gone.
Yeah. All right. Then we get a Buddy Murphy promo from his rooftop hotel in Melbourne. Which, I mean, Buddy, why aren't you staying with your family, man? I mean, you're torn away from him across the other side of the world.
What happens if he's like his family owns a penthouse apartment? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know his family. So, maybe. Anyway, then Mustafa Ali cuts a promo. Oh, no, not a promo. He's talking to Cedric Alexander, and he's talking about, like, I've got a match with Hideo in 2 weeks, and it's going to be, was a Falls Count Anywhere?
I think so.
Is that what he said, or was it just a street
No, I think
fight?
it was Falls Count Anywhere.
Yeah, Falls Count Anywhere. That's interesting. I like Falls Count Anywhere because you can, you can theoretically end the match backstage. No DQ match always still has to end in the ring. Falls Count Anywhere. That's fun.
Yes, very fun.
But then, yeah, he sits down. He's like concerned that Cedric is going for a match again too soon because he has a match tonight against Tony Nese. How weird is that? Like, wrestlers have matches every night. What are you talking about? Is it too soon?
No, I get where Mustafa Ali's coming from. He just flown 10,000 miles. He's just had this brutal match in a land that he was not a fan of. They were not a fan of him under any circumstances. Yeah. And everything was just playing on his mind. He's just lost the most important thing to him, well, apart from his family, the Cruiserweight Championship, which could just about be called his baby. Anyway, so he's lost that. He lost the biggest match in his career. And all of a sudden, he's going up against the other half of 16 Reasons Why? Like, come on. I can understand where he's coming from.
I don't know. I just thought it was. I just thought it was weird.
So.
I thought it was weird. But anyway, then we get Gulak and Gallagher cutting a promo about Brian Kendrick, and now they're turning their attention to Akira Tozawa. Yep. And then the main event. Tony Nese, Cedric Alexander. This was an amazing match, as we know it will be. It's Cedric Alexander and Tony Nese. Tony Nese gets the win.
Which was fantastic.
Clean, too. So Cedric kind of gets frustrated because Tony Nese gets his foot on the ropes after the lumbar check, and then gets pulled out of the corner at the 4 count, and he sort of pushes the ref a little. Like, he's just getting frustrated. It's getting to him. Yeah. And then Tony Nese capitalizes on that little distraction with the ref and gets the win. Now, I love a good downward spiral story. Yeah,
it makes it a bit more interesting.
A big part of me, though.
Yeah.
Again, I like to play on this cartoon character Vince that I have in my mind. A big part of me thinks that Vince just realized Cedric Alexander, the guy who has been undefeated for over a year, was an African-American.
Oh, what?
Well, because, I mean, his name is Cedric. So I think Vince maybe got him confused with Jack Gallagher or something and, was like, give that guy a winning streak. Why not? And now he's when they went to Australia, he was next to him on the flight or something, and he kind of realized, wait, you're Cedric. You're Cedric. And so now, he's gone ahead and now he's going to reverse it, and Cedric's going to go on a losing streak for the next year because he's realized
I can just imagine.
Not Jack Gallagher.
Yeah. I can just imagine, like, in the background, be like, you're Cedric. You don't look like a Cedric. You don't smell like a Cedric. You don't taste like a Cedric.
You look like money. You smell like money. Like, no, that's the other guy, Vince. That's the other black guy. No,
I thought you were going to say that's the Australian, but
This is the racist trope of I have this cartoon character Vince McMahon in my mind. I'm sure he's actually a great guy. Like, but it's just funny. But then we move on to NXT. NXT this week was phenomenal.
This was fantastic.
Yeah, probably the show of the week, I'd say.
Yep.
I actually, the show was so well done that I actually was okay with Crazy Nikki.
Oh, that's taking it too far.
No, it was, I mean, she was a little bit over the top, but she wasn't as over the top as she normally is. So the show started with Ciampa coming out, cutting a promo about Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream interrupts him, says how amusing this all is, calls Ciampa an angry little bald man, which I popped for.
Yep.
Ciampa basically accuses Dream of not even really thinking what he says he thinks. Like, you don't really think I attacked Black. You just want a shot at my title. And the title says that Dream isn't tough enough.
That was such a good burn. I popped for that.
Straight fire. Yeah, I love that. And then, so they go back and forth, but then Nikki Cross comes out, and the crowd, got to give it to the crowd, triple threat, triple threat.
Yes. And then the she knows chance.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good. The chance for Nikki Cross. What was it? Nikki knows a secret. Nikki knows a secret. The crowd were on point.
This crowd was so good.
Yeah, so she pokes Velveteen Dream and she's like, I know what you done.
Yep.
Can we just point out, too, how tiny Nikki Cross looked?
I know.
Next to Velveteen.
She looks so small.
I'm like, this makes me realize I'd never want to see Velveteen Dream standing next to Kairi Sane.
Oh, gosh. It'd be like an average version of Alexa Bliss standing next to Braun Strowman.
Yeah, it was so off-putting seeing how small. Like, is Velveteen Dream just really tall? And I've just never realized
he's actually quite tall.
Because I'm going to have to look up how tall he is. Because he was huge next to her.
Yeah, so he's 188 centimeters tall.
188 centimeters.
Yeah.
So what's
6'2".
that? 6'2". 6'2".
Yep.
Okay, so he's like the same size as like Rock and Austin.
Wow, he's actually quite tall.
So Velveteen Dream probably could have fit in the Attitude Era. Talk about people that could have made it in the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Velveteen Dream, I mean, if he wasn't, unfortunately, African American. God damn it.
He'd probably get buried.
I like this kid, but he's still black.
Oh,
this episode, people are not going to like this episode.
Nope, not at all.
Between you being sexist and me being racist and all of us just saying, fuck Saudi Arabia, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle the... Don't at me. Okay, don't at
I just want to point this out real quick. I just did a quick search. Nikki Cross is only 5'2", so she's only just shorter than I am.
Wow. 5'2".
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm 5'6", but that's kind of small.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. It's so weird. Like the I don't know. That's so. She looked very tiny. That's all I'm saying. She looked very tiny. But then, like putting her next to Ciampa, she didn't look as tiny. I don't know if Ciampa was just standing different.
He was
I don't know.
slouching.
I have no idea.
Nah, Dream's taller than Ciampa too.
But yeah, but anyway, she knocks the microphone out of Ciampa's hand and she's like, I know what you did too. But that was cool though, when she actually got down to the microphone.
I was like, you can pick that up, right? Like,
yeah, no, but see, that was where I was like, that's funny. It was. But, and then that's it really. So she says that she knows what he did and then everyone leaves. Like, okay, cool. Crazy chick just came out and did crazy things and we're just all going to just leave with that. That's, then Keith Lee defeats Kona Reeves in, a nice little enhancement match. Kona Reeves is actually starting to get it.
Yeah, it'll still take some time, but he's getting there.
I enjoyed him more here than I've ever enjoyed him.
Fair enough.
Especially because he took that belly to belly over the top so beautifully.
True.
Like that looked like
that did look like it hurt. Yes.
Yeah, you got to have balls to do that. I mean, anyone who steps in that ring has balls of steel, in my opinion, because everything in there hurts. But doing something like that over the top rope, that's insane.
Yeah, with the height that he got on that, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Then Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane both cut promos hyping up their Evolution match, which was really fun. Shayna has one of the best promos. She's so underrated with her promo.
Yeah, I actually can't wait to see what she does on the main roster against half the women on there. Like, it's going to be so good to hear her.
I'm a huge Shayna Baszler mark. I am.
Can tell.
I'm a bit worried though, because I feel like we know they're building up heels, so Kairi Sane's probably going to retain. Unless they're going to turn Shayna face, which I've talked about considering her almost a face already, because she acknowledges that she messed up and she needs to get better.
Well, what if...
Which is what this whole promo was.
What if you think about it, at the end of the match, instead of having Shayna Baszler attacking Kairi Sane, what if she just grabs a hand, raises it as if to say, all right, the better person won?
That's what I was going to say. They could... Well, no, even if you want to give Shayna the title back, which I do, then you could actually have her win the match by submission, and then instead of like where she normally would hold the submission on, so let's go, lifts Kairi up, holds her hand up, and does that whole thing, and is the respectful champion. I don't know. I'm torn a little, but all I know is I want for Shayna Baszler's story arc, because she's like, I wasn't beaten, like Kairi didn't beat me. I beat myself by not being focused and paying attention and getting the shoulders up, right? And it's such a face thing for me. I know that you can do that as a heel thing. Like that can be, I didn't lose, she didn't beat me, I beat myself kind of thing. And you can do it like a heel. But the way Shayna does it, she's not doing it like a heel.
She's doing it in that grey area, really.
She's doing it like a person who's taking responsibility for her mistakes. Yeah. That's a champion to me. You know, I don't know. So I'm kind of torn, but I just love Shayna Baszler. I love Kairi Sane too. So I'm very excited for this match.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like, as much as I'm not a fan of repetitive matches, I'm excited for this.
Well, this isn't repetitive though. You're talking about what they've had.
This will make match number 4.
This will be their 4th match in a year.
Yeah. No, like
that's one every 3 months.
Yeah, so that's good. But it's like I don't know. I'm over the Dogs of War Shield thing, but they just keep adding to that, so that kind of makes it more interesting. But yeah.
But that's because it happens every week. This doesn't happen every week.
True.
Yeah. You know, I mean, we talked about, I went back and I had a look at the numbers, remember? And Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler faced each other like 12 times in 3 months. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, then we get Regal being asked, talk about repetitive situations. Regal being asked about the Aleister Black, and he's like, I still don't know. I have no idea. All of this questioning has been for naught. Another podcast I listened to had an interesting theory. What if William Regal attacked Aleister Black?
Oh.
Narratively, it would be entirely stupid, but it would be hilarious. And I would actually like it. I don't know why. Like, I feel like it would make no sense, but at the same time, it would be one of those things that's just super wrestling.
It would be. It'd be like the ultimate sort of, I don't want you in the match, so I'm just going to knock you out so you're not in the match.
It was me, Alistair. It was me all along.
I did it for The Rock!
But yeah, you can do all of them. No. Yeah, he doesn't know. Cassius still wants to fight the King of Bros.
The shiny new toy.
He won't say his name. He's just dropping all these, you know, once your bromance guy gets here. Of course, he's talking about... Oh, shit.
Matt Riddle?
Yes, he's talking about Matt Riddle. How did I forget that name?
I'm not even an indie mark and you still remembered it.
No, for some reason in my head was like Matt Striker. I'm like, it's not Matt Striker. I know that much.
Confirmed. For 2 weeks' time, Matt Striker returns to NXT.
So Matt Riddle, I'm so embarrassed by that. Yeah, Matt Riddle. This is what the stomach bug has done to my brain. It's made its way up into my head. Matt Riddle. So he wants Matt Riddle. And then Nikki shows up, and Nikki Cross knows what Cassius did too. At this point, what was it, a stable? Is there a new stable? And they all did it. They all attacked Aleister Black. Everyone.
What if actually, instead of it being a stable, it was one after another? So say, for example, Ciampa didn't want him in the match, so he attacked him. And then, as Aleister Black's kind of groggy in the car park, Dream attacks him because he's sick of him getting in the way. And then Cassius Ohno walked past on his ciggy break and just kicked him in the head. Yeah, because he just doesn't care, so he just knocks him out because he could.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, I think Nikki Cross is just crazy. And then we get the triple threat main event. Holy
hell on a cracker. This was fantastic. Honestly, I've got in my notes here. This is my personal opinion. You can argue with me if you want. But to me, this is the best triple threat I have seen in the last 10 years.
I can't dispute it. I wouldn't say it's an undisputed claim, but I can't dispute it right now off the top of my head. Triple threats I'm not a huge fan of, generally speaking.
Neither am I, but that's...
Because they always do that whole, take a big bump layout, layout. But this was one of the better ones. And also the repeat of the Ricochet moonsault with the super kick to the head with both Pete Dunne and Adam Cole kicking him in the head. That was really nice. That was
fantastic.
But there were a lot of spots in this match. The crescendo of this match was brilliant. They had the crowd in the palm of their hand.
They really did.
Lots of false finishes. Ricochet ends up retaining the North American title.
It was good to see Ricochet retain, and I'm really interested to see who's going to challenge him now, because I think that pretty much means that Adam Cole and Kevin Dunn are done with him.
Kevin Dunn?
So why did I say Kevin?
Kevin Dunn's in the truck.
Why did I say Kevin Dunn?
It's all right. My brain disease has transferred over to you, Pete Dunne. Yeah, no, I don't know where Ricochet goes from here. Maybe Keith Lee.
Maybe
Keith Lee. But no, next week we get Undisputed Era versus War Raiders, and we get Belair versus Cross in the rematch. They didn't say it was a no DQ match or anything though, which gives me pause, but it's still going to be exciting. I really like Nikki Belair. I really like Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair. So
the question is, we're heading into next week, right? We finished this week of NXT. Next week, what happens if War Raiders actually win and Undisputed just disappear off the face of the planet for a little bit and return on the main roster?
You really want them to come up, don't you?
I don't know. I was thinking about this today on my way to work, right? Could you imagine the Shield goes over in a winner-takes-all match? Actually, no. Just the Shield goes over at Saudi Arabia, right? They've got no more Dogs of War situation.
Well, the Shield don't have a match at Saudi Arabia. Fuck Saudi Arabia. It's the triple threat.
Well, true. Okay.
Match.
Okay.
No, but look, here's the thing: the Shield vs Dogs of War thing. We know that's booked until TLC.
Yeah.
And Madison Square Garden after Christmas. So it's not going anywhere, man. They're just going to run on the spot for a while. Undisputed Era are not coming up until after WrestleMania.
Okay, but just hear me out for a second. Could you imagine, right? They've done, actually after Mania, because that would finish off War Games. That's a good point. Just having the Shield are still running rampant. They're still known as the dominant team of WWE. Seth Rollins gets on the mic. They've turned heel and they're like, you know what? No one can beat us. No one can beat us. We've had enough. Like, we're the champions. This is it. Or not even have championships on them, sorry. Don't put championships on them because then you're burying Undisputed Era. But have them just saying, we're the best. No one can beat us. And all of a sudden, shock. The system. The crowd would go nuts.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. See, the thing is, you get confused with the NXT crowd and the main roster crowd. The main roster crowd, like you were at the show. You were at the show on Saturday. It's different. It's entirely different.
Crowd.
Those people had no idea. Like, we were in Australia, right? And those people did not pop for Buddy Murphy on his entrance.
True.
The match got them popping because the match was incredible. And then by the time he won, everyone was on board with him because that's the bloke that came out with the Australian flag. But honestly, I would say 70% of those people, and I'm being generous there, 70% of them did not know who he was. Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, more people probably watch NXT than 205 Live, but I don't think that they would. I think that the Shield are megastars. Megastars. You're not having Undisputed Era show up to take down the Shield. It's not happening. I
don't know. I just think against a big Callister team, or say for example the Revival.
If you were going to have if someone was going to come in to take down the Shield, it would be the Elite. That's it. That's the only people that could potentially come. Even that, I don't think. I think the general crowd would probably be like, "Who the hell are these guys?" Probably,
if they heard Cody Rhodes' music, people would pop.
Yeah. But, well, see, the thing is, Cody, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Shield implodes. I think that's the only way it goes. But that does it for the View from the WWE Universe this week. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at CJ's World or on Instagram at CJ's_World.
People can also see you walking around Penrith in your B+
That's
tee,
exactly right.
Courtesy of Working
That's exactly
Gear.
right. Big shout out to Working Gear. Thank you very much for the tees for Melbourne, guys. You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, give us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and thank you so much for listening.
Hold one! Arm drag!
You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy!
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two! Arm bar!
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it! Dummy! Hold three! The moss-covered, three-handle family granunzo!
number 4, armbar.